Hey, I'm just waiting for more people to come in. Oh, snap. Hey, sexy lady D. What's going on? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I love them Kwame videos. You be going in on him, Hassan, all of them. I love it. Much respect. I appreciate it. We all do. Yeah, so thank you for being patient. I had to really take care of some things. First of all, I've been really like exhausted the past couple of weeks, which is why I haven't even posted. I've just been on YouTube, just listening, watching videos. That's it. I've been drained because I've been so busy doing stuff off of YouTube, like stuff that's like really like extra important. Hey, Lex. Hey. So yeah, so I've been really, really, really tired and really stressed out. But I appreciate y'all coming in. There's probably gonna be more people coming through soon. But I wanted to do this live real quick to talk about Whitney Houston. So as many of you know, you might not know or remember the exact date, but this is actually the official 10th anniversary of Whitney Houston passing away. Now, if you remember that day, I'm sure you remember where you were when you first heard the news. I was literally inside my home. I got a text from my friend telling me that Whitney Houston was found dead in a hotel in Beverly Hills. I didn't believe it at first because I had remember all these Whitney Houston death hostess from like the past 15 years. So I turned on CNN and no, actually, first I turned on in New York One, and New York One was basically reporting that they found her unresponsive, but the report wasn't updated. So then I turned to CNN, and then CNN had the live, and you know it's real when they have like the date, and it was 1963 to 2012, so it was confirmed. And for the past 10 years, I've been following this case. And the reason why I say case is because there are many, 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 many discrepancies involving her death. From her being in the bathtub and doing with the medical examiner describing that she did have a hole in her heart, but they never really could say what drugs there were, except for they said that she had ingested crack cocaine. They've never really said that they said that she died due to her basically being submerged in water, but also being intoxicated with drugs in her system. But there were people in the hotel who gave statements, and they stated that they had heard above and next to her room, where that room was, because the room number was 343, and she was pronounced dead 3:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because she was out in LA. They said that they heard a noise that was like a thump, and they also heard a scream. And it sounded like somebody had threw a television, because most hotels, they don't really have that much furniture. So when you hear a thump, it's pretty alarming. They said they also heard screams. One person even witnessed three people leave the hotel laughing. Now, the footage of the people who were laughing, that was actually caught on camera. And those three people were a man named Raffles Van Exel, who's from like Aruba, but he lives in the Netherlands. Brandy Boyd Burnside, who was on VH1's Love and Hip Hop Hollywood season 2, 3, and 4, and Ray J, as in Brandy's brother, Ray J. You could look this up and you can find that they were laughing while all this commotion was going on. And it has been alleged that they were in that hotel room with Whitney just before she was pronounced dead. And that during that day, there were a lot of people, even when she was alive, because the last footage of her is her by the pool at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She's basically taking a photo, and well, not taking a photo. There's somebody taking a photo of her, and she's actually reading a magazine, and she's wearing a white bathing suit. And that was early in the morning, around about 11 o'clock ish. Now, what occurred is that they found her in the bathtub of water. And when they informed the family, because this was a Grammy weekend, and all of her family members had been there. And what they said was Whitney would never take baths. Whitney was not that kind of person. Whitney always took showers. She never liked to sit in a bathtub, let alone lay down in one, because Whitney was a germaphobe. And when she was in her early years of her career, she actually had taken a bath in a tub and she started itching. So this was like, it could have been like 85, 86. So from that point on, she never took baths when she traveled, only in her house. She always took showers. So that was odd right then and there. So people kind of thought that was suspicious. Also, the night before Whitney died, her daughter almost drowned in a tub inside that very same hotel room. But she had uncovered, I mean, not uncovered, but they had basically recovered her. And I remember hearing that she had almost drowned. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Christina had been troubled, even though she graduated from high school. She was going through a lot with drugs. She was wilding that period. Whitney actually wasn't. She was calm. She had just finished wrapping up the movie Sparkle. They was going to go on promos that spring and summer. And she was pretty much looking forward to recording a whole nother new album slated to be released in 2013. Now, also what happens is that the people that were around her at the time when she passed, you have Pat Houston, her brother Ray Houston, which was not really, his name wasn't Ray Houston. His name was really Raymond Garland, because, well, Pat Patricia Garland, his name, Raymond Garland, something like that. That was her brother, and that was the security detail for Whitney that day. They didn't watch, monitor, or care who would come in. And Whitney never had a lot of people come to a hotel room like that. So this man, Ray, let too many people in the hotel, and they were unsavory people. Now, it has been noted that there was Primo that was found in the hotel. Primo was popular out in the West Coast. That's when you use marijuana and you put different chemical substances, mostly laced with cocaine. Some people choose angel dust. Some people choose they like to dice small rocks of crack cocaine. Some people like to put heroin in it, but it's different out there as it is over here, because their drugs has been noted, and I've read this, has been CIA produced. And if you ever want to hear information about Whitney Houston's, I don't want to say demise, but untimely death, you could look up a blog called "In Search of Black Assassins" by a man named Prince Ray. He's from Oakland, California. He does a great job, and he did a great job breaking down the whole thing with Whitney Houston. And he warned the whole year before that she was going to be. Now, what always bothered me about this whole thing is that her body was upstairs in that hotel while the Grammy celebration, pre-Grammy celebration, was taking place. They left her body there for 3 hours. It was like a ritual occurring. I've always believed that Whitney Houston did not pass away just from drugs. There, according to the autopsy, there was a mark on her body. And on her body, there was basically a mark that indicated that she was shooting up. The only mark on her body like that. It has been said that she was given a hot shot. It has been stated that Whitney was basically knocked out. And when she woke up, she was underwater and she was basically trying to fight off. And that's where the screams were being heard from that incident. And then when the TV was thrown, it was basically as if to basically block out the noise from the screams that she was giving off. Whitney, I don't believe ever got justice for her murder, for her passing. I don't believe it. And I feel as though when Bobby Christina passed away the way she did, Bobby Christina drowned again in the water. And the common denominator between the two of them is Nick Gordon. Now, Nick Gordon, I don't believe did the shit, but he's a patsy, meaning that he was placed there to be the fall person. And even though they didn't charge him for Chrissy's death or even Whitney's, he always had that mark that he was one of the people that was in on the passing, which I don't believe it because they were more valuable to him alive than dead. Also, he never married Bobby Christina. Bobby Christina was never going to marry him. But many people don't know this, but the day before New Year's 2020, Nick Gordon passed away from a heroin overdose. So he's gone. So whatever secrets he knew, he took those with him. And the only one that I've always said that knows everything is Pat Houston. And I've mentioned Pat Houston before, actually 4 years ago. And that's been a long time. And I said something was up. It was strange things, especially surrounding Bobby Christina. This was to take, in my opinion, to remove Whitney. She was found to be no longer useful. But people still wanted that talent. To me, her body being there in that hotel sounds as though it was some type of ritual. Like, get her energy out of her body before the coroners officially remove it and take it out and take it to LA County, Beverly Hills County. Also, I also believe, and this is just my opinion, I believe that the $25 million, well, no, sorry, $100 million. The $25 million was the amount of the trust that Whitney left to Bobby Christina. I believe the trust, not the trust, I believe the money, the debt that Whitney owed, she wasn't going to be able to pay it off. She couldn't tour anymore. Albums, they weren't selling like they did in the 80s and 90s. They don't even sell now like they did in the 2000s. Maybe a couple of people like Taylor Swift, but that's it. I believe that the debt was something that they couldn't work with her. And whoever the powers that be that basically was like, that's what happened. Now, a lot of old videos of the Whitney Houston death, people will also say, in quotations, murder. Those videos you can't find off of YouTube anymore. And those were some great videos. They scrubbed them since like 2018, I believe. They scrubbed those. You can't really find those anymore. And it's really jacked up. But 10 years later, I don't think about her passing like I did from 2012 to 2016. And a lot of it has to do with time. And so much has happened. But every now and then, I think about not just what occurred with her, but there are different things that you could see in her music videos from the 90s up until the very moment when she passed, that you could tell they were planning something. Something was going to happen amiss. Also, Bobby Brown was not the cause of her demise. And I think that Bobby Brown has officially been vindicated, and he was vindicated officially, I believe, in 2013. Because ever since when he left Whitney and also Bobby Christina, his life has been on track. And a lot of reasons why Bobby wasn't as popular as he was, it wasn't the industry. Whitney didn't want him to work. I know it's bizarre, but she did not want him out of her sight. And the reality show, we saw that Bobby was actually not the bad person. And her family has admitted he never put on drugs. It was actually her brother Michael that did that. But still, with all of that being stated, I think about the research that I did. I did research for a year and a half. And I concluded, and I was like a sleuth, I concluded that basically this was a natural causes. And I concluded that they didn't even give a fuck if we knew about it and if we figured it out. The industry was done with her, but still profitable to them in passing. So, like in the afterlife, there will never be another voice like hers. You're never going to hear it. You're never going to hear it. And the sad thing about Whitney Houston's legacy, there's only one sad thing. It's not that she did drugs, because there's millions of people that do drugs. So we're not going to even go into the hypocrisy of that. There are people in that industry that did drugs and never got caught. There are people in that industry that kill people and they never got caught. Rape people, never got caught. Or it comes out, but they never did any time in jail. What saddens me about Whitney is that Whitney doesn't have a legacy anymore except for with music, because Whitney's daughter is gone and she doesn't have any children, because Bobby Christina was her only child. That is to me the tragedy in all of it. That's the tragedy in it. She doesn't have any life to carry on. Bobby Christina's demise was cut off. And it was alleged that Bobby Christina was pregnant at the time when she drowned. And she wasn't drowned naturally. It has been stated that she was pushed in the pool, not in the pool, in the tub. And the two people that allegedly was doing it, they're all gone out as well. All the people in that house that Bobby Christina owned, the townhouse, they're gone. They're gone. So it's just a real, sad story as it is. And, I could talk about her accomplishments, but this is a sad day in music history. And I feel that Whitney Houston was genuinely off drugs, but I do believe those last couple of days, I believe people were hooking her back, but I don't believe that's what she died from. I believe that the hot shot, which was that mark they found on her left arm, was the thing that triggered it. It was something that was probably very potent. It could have been fentanyl for all we know. And I believe that she was pushed. That's just my belief. I'm not going to say any names because the one thing about me, I don't have any definitives of who exactly did it. But I believe that besides, I believe Ray J knows stuff too. Brandy Boy Burnside. And Raffles is known for setting people up because they said that he was down with Michael Jackson's demise, even Prince's demise when it came to the money that the family was trying to collect. And the thing about the Prince situation is that the brother was awarded money from the estate. And the next day he passed away, and it was Raffles that was suing the brother for Prince's estate. So whenever Raffles is around, you know something's going down. And I just want to end it off by saying that it's just a sad thing all in all. Um Pat not Pat Houston. Sissy Houston is still alive. She's like 88 years old. Her siblings are still alive. And they're supposed to be doing a biopic with this woman from England that's gonna play her. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not. I'm mostly into documentaries, but I've been jamming to her music since yesterday, and I usually play Whitney Houston songs a lot coming into the springtime, like coming into March up until we get into the fall. And a lot of it has to do with because she was born in summer. We're both born in the same sign, Leo. And Whitney was epitome of a Leo. Everything about her was a Leo. And except for that Pisces with the her Pisces South Moon. No, her Pisces rising, her Aries moon. That's a whole nother story and stuff. But with that being said, I still believe she's the greatest singer of all time. There will never be another singer. I don't care how much Rihanna is a billionaire, she will never have the vocals of a Whitney Houston. Even on Whitney's worst day, Rihanna couldn't touch her. She could still outshine Rihanna. I would say practically all the greats. I just, it's just jacked up and it's sad. And, you know, one day, hopefully, the truth will come out about all of that. And with that being said, I'm signing off. Thank you and have a good night.